A disturbing wave of channel bans has started to hit YouTube. A lot of these channel bans seem to be related to the concept of ban evasion, or YouTube's AI systems thinking that channels are trying to evade bans and go around getting banned. But a lot of it seems to be, at least from what I can see, seems to be like not necessarily the case, or at least the people that are outcrying about it in public are people that weren't trying to evade bans, but were nonetheless hit with channel bans. Uh, and the route that this seems to be going is what seems to be happening here is, from what I can see at the very least, is a channel. A person with a channel, like say me, I have 3 separate channels aside from the main channel that this video is going to be on. So a person like me makes a secondary channel. They post something on that secondary channel, and for some reason, what they posted gets flagged as spam or some sort of circumvention thing. That secondary channel gets banned. They appeal the ban on the secondary channel. They say, hey, this wasn't spam, this wasn't circumvention. Maybe the AI system thought it was reposting something from the main channel or something like that, but I'm good, it's fine. They get an almost immediate response, a response that clearly shows that the likelihood of a human being having looked at it is next to 0. And then because the second channel is tied to the first channel, the main channel also gets banned. So people with secondary channels getting hit for these spams or circumventions or whatever the ban is for are having their primary channel banned as well because they tried to appeal the ban on the secondary channel. And I have a few thoughts on this. One, this is one, a different type of topic than what I normally talk about. And two, it's kind of a hard thing to really research deeply into because you have to make a lot of kind of assumptions and conclusions and connect dots and those. So I don't want to say anything's for certain because it's hard to say yes, this is exactly what's happening. And this is why it's happening because the YouTube team isn't being super clear about it. One of the only real responses I saw going through this from YouTube was a lot of replies. Like if you look up at Team YouTube on Twitter, there's a lot of replies lately where they're replying to people and saying, yeah, your channel likely got banned because of circumvention and fill out your appeal here and blah, blah, blah. But it's really just a big nothing burger of a response where they're not taking any accountability. They're not explaining it in any public way that would give some level of comfort or assurity or at least understanding to the people that are being affected by this and the people that might be affected by it. So there's no real solid info. But what I think this is, one, it's concerning for me. It's concerning for me as a small content creator because the big content creators, they don't have to deal with this as much. The people that have, millions and millions of views, they might get the AI automated system to hit them and ban something or take down a video or blah blah blah, and then they reach out to their partner liaison and that person gets it handled for them, and it doesn't end up having too big of an effect on them. They get their channel back or they get their video back or whatever it is, and it doesn't have a long-term effect on them. But for the smaller creators, they don't really have that reach, and like me, I don't really have that sort of reach. I don't really have the ability to easily go on Twitter and get 100,000 likes behind something and 100,000 shares. I don't really use Twitter that much. I don't know what the right words are. Behind something to get traffic behind it and to get, a voice behind it. And I don't have a direct line really to like my creator liaison or whatever the official term is called. I don't remember right now. And I am someone that has 3 other channels that like I actively, semi-actively post on. I have this channel, Running Game Entertainment, and then I have my channel Runga Storytime, RUNGA Storytime, Runga Plays and Runga Live. Runga Plays is where I post right now mostly shorts of Let's Play stuff, but also a few long-form Let's Plays I'm working on. Runga Live is where I just post like stuff directly from stream, and it's really just stuff that doesn't fit anywhere else kind of thing. But then Runga Storytime is going to cause me a little bit of concern with what's going on in here because Runga Storytime, if you don't know, if you haven't been following me for long enough, this channel the majority of my content that wasn't shorts used to just be me telling stories. Me telling stories about stuff that happened while I was in the military or just random stuff that happened in my life or blah, 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 this and that. And when I started switching to like really talking about like the Power World drama and just, gaming news and blah, 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 and the type of stuff I post on my channel now, I also wanted to continue posting stories because it's a very cathartic experience for me. It's therapeutic. It's fun for me, and people seem to like listening to the stories and hearing the stories. But because of the way the YouTube algorithm worked, my primary audience that I developed because of the talking about the Power World stuff and all that didn't care about the stories. And what that ended up meaning was if I posted the stories on the same channel as everything else, both would suffer. So I created the secondary channel for the Runga Storytime, and the primary content that is slowly being put on there is reposts, like taking down the videos from the main channel and reposting them over on that channel. That way they're conglomerated onto the same channel. This wave of AI looking at second channels and looking at them as spam channels and then banning them and then not having a human review the ban or review the appeal for the ban is concerning for me, because is this going to affect me? Is me choosing to repost these videos on another channel so that, it gets the adequate audience and so that the people that are here for the gaming news or the Power World news or whatever get what they want, and the people that are here for the stories and blah, blah, blah get what they want, and they don't get inundated with stuff that they don't want to see, both looking out for myself and looking out for the audience? Is that going to result in a ban that when I try to appeal the ban just gets my main channel banned? That's a legitimate concern. And the fact that there's not a human being that is looking behind, or there doesn't seem to be like a team of human beings that is looking at this, is upsetting. And it might come to my channel one day and just see that my channel doesn't exist anymore, that my channel's been banned because of the other channel. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop doing what I'm doing unless YouTube, for some reason, sends me a DM and says, hey, if you don't stop this, we're going to ban you, and this is how you get around it. Then maybe, maybe I try to like talk to them like, hey, how do I make this work? I doubt that's ever going to happen. But because at that point it would just be stupid not to listen to them, right? But it is concerning that this is something that they aren't being open about. They're not being clear. There's no communication happening with the creators, with the people that are getting bans or are producing content for YouTube to let them know what's happening. But what I think this is, to get to my theory about this, what I think this is I think this is a AI-driven overreaction to what I'm sure a lot of you have seen happening lately. If you are frequently on YouTube, and especially if you're frequently on YouTube and you follow big creators, you have no doubt seen, I just got a perfect Astagon, awesome. You have no doubt seen a lot of re-upload channels. I know Legal Eagle has a lot. Legal Eagle ended up doing his own video on it, discussing this. But there are a lot of re-upload channels that are just channels that are likely bots taking down other people or downloading other people's videos, re-uploading them almost exactly the same or just slightly the same to fight back against copyright, or slightly different to fight back against the copyright like check system. The automated system checks for copyright, so they might like blur some of the stuff in the video, or they might take all the audio and replace the visuals, or some weird thing like that to get around the copyright detection. And then re-uploading it in like on hundreds of different channels and blah blah blah. And it's becoming a big pain for the original creators and whatnot, and they apparently are not responding well to it. Like Legal did his video on it discussing it and explained like, yeah, they're expecting me to go through and individually strike every single video and blah 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 and all this different stuff, and then they're making it so difficult to do this and whatnot. And I feel like this might have been YouTube's attempt to answer that problem, to solve that problem of these re-upload channels. But since they're having it driven by AI and they don't seem to have a well-manned appeals team to review this, small creators are getting hurt. Small creators getting hurt by this, because if they have a second channel and say like, okay, so my Runga live channel. That's where all the YouTube channel I stream to. I stream to there and I stream to Twitch. So I have the Runga Live channel now. If I have something happen during stream, or I go on a rant during stream, or I tell a story during stream, and I decide to post it to my Runga Storytime channel, or I to post it to Running Game Entertainment channel, well, now they have that system that says, oh, well, the original source of this video is over on this channel, but now it's up on this channel. And what if they decide the AI system just decides to say, oh, this is probably a re-upload channel. Let's get it. Who knows? But I think that might be what is the cause of this, is their attempt to go after re-upload channels, but do it in the most cost-effective, least accurate way humanly possible, or not even humanly possible, AI possible, for it. And that is concerning, but I want to play devil's advocate a little bit here, because this is kind of a no-win situation for YouTube, I think. This is a no-win situation for YouTube, where if they don't do anything about this, if they don't do anything about, and I'll give there is a win for them, but it's a very costly win for them. If they don't do anything about these re-upload channels, people are going to get more and more upset. It's going to become a problem, and they have like some level of legal obligation to support, like to stop copyright infringement. Like once they're made aware of it, they have to do something about it, and blah blah blah, and et cetera, and their big creators might start leaving for other platforms, and et cetera. It all does different stuff. People will be really mad. It makes them look really bad. So then their response, and that's bad. They don't address these re-upload channels. They don't address the copyright infringement. Bad. So now they are addressing the copyright infringement in a way that is cost effective for them, like very, very cost effective for them, because it's all AI driven, costs them almost nothing. They're addressing it, but now small creators are getting hurt, or other creators are getting hurt because they don't have the reach to be able to easily reach out to YouTube or get on Twitter and blast them YouTube. Because I think it was Markiplier that talked about the only time he's ever gotten anything answered by the YouTube team. It might have been Penguin Zio. I don't know. Answered by the YouTube team was when he creates an uproar on Twitter about it. So now they have this AI system that is, and this is conjecture. This is my theory. I'm not saying that this is what is causing this. This is just my thoughts on what might be causing this. They have this AI system that's like, okay, we're going to go after all these re-upload channels. So if there's a channel that is re-uploading stuff from a bigger channel, or looks like it's re-uploading stuff from a bigger channel, and it's trying to skirt bans, and it's skirting, and it's spam. It's a spam channel. We're going to get rid of it. But then, because it's an AI system that's not backed by a living person appeals team, there's a lot of channels that aren't spam channels. They might be channels deriving content from their main channel. They might be re-uploading stuff from their main channel to a separate channel or whatever. And that is now leading to them getting these bans. And then because they're appealing the bans, but they have a second channel tied to the same account, because like all my other channels are tied underneath the same Gmail address, basically. So they're all linked together. Since they've appealed this and YouTube has denied their appeal, they're looking at, oh, they have other channels now. They clearly have these other channels to circumvent the ban that we just issued on their primary channel, even if that other channel is older than the channel that just got banned. They clearly have this second channel to circumvent this ban, so then they're auto banning the second channel and not having a single human being look at it. And it's one of those questions of like, okay, they're doing it this way because it's the most cost-effective way. And hiring the sheer amount of content that is posted on YouTube on a daily basis would be impossible for for human beings to have a human being led team that can effectively handle it if you're not paying those human beings like below minimum wage stuff. If you're not like basically using, a sweat factories style hiring to address this, you could not cost effectively have enough people looking at and reviewing these things. Because like, hold on, let me look up real quick. How much content is uploaded to YouTube every day? More than 500 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every minute. There is no way they could maintain a team that would be able to review that. But they can still use the AI automated system to help address it and prioritize and actually not allow the AI to make the final appeal decision. Say, okay, we're going to use this AI because a lot of these people are getting the answers to their appeals within moments or minutes of them filing the appeal. A human did not look at that, especially if the video is 20 minutes long. A human did not look at that. So use the AI to help guide a human-driven team to look at it. Like, okay, it's a 20-minute video, and this 2-minute section is what got copyright struck, or what made us think that it was spam, or made us think that it was a re-upload, or made us think that it was ban evasion, or made us think any of these things. Guide the person to that, have the person review it, and have the person type up the answer and make the decision on it. Now, then you still have to rely on the people deciding to do their job well and not just clicking agree with AI or whatever. But at the very least, I think that would bring back a lot of the confidence people might have or might want to have with YouTube, and would make people feel like their concerns are actually being listened to. But I'm not really sure. Again, this is all just conjecture. I don't think there is a really good scenario for YouTube here, but I think the more ethical solution, or a really good solution for YouTube here, the more ethical solution is the one that is not hurting people out of laziness. And I think the idea of using AI to help guide a human-driven team is the better solution, rather than just have someone who's spent so much time building a channel, building an audience, lose that channel because the YouTube AI system could not figure out what was actually happening there. But this is something I want to try. Like, I tried to look into it a little bit more, and it's really hard to find any solid answers, any actual data of what is happening here, because YouTube's not communicating with anyone. YouTube's not telling people what's happening here. So how are we supposed to know what's happening if YouTube's not talking about it, and everything else is anecdotal? And I'm certain there are no doubt a lot of these people that are complaining that, oh no, YouTube took down my channel unfairly, and I didn't do anything wrong, and they said it's for the hate speech or something, but I didn't do a hate speech. And then you look at the video and it's like just a fucking like horrible human being saying the worst, most disgusting things. But I'm willing to bet that's like a small group of them there. And just to put it into perspective of how many of the bans are happening because of things like this, between right now, if you go on to transparencyreport.google.com and look at their transparency report for channel removals and YouTube community guidelines enforcement, right now they have the most recent one. The most recent report they have up is from April 2025 to June 2025. 2,105,778 channels were removed, and 76% of them, 1,599,684, were for spam, deceptive practices, and scams. Now, I'm willing to bet a good portion of those were because they were deceptive practices or they were scams. They were either like clickbait to the worst degree, or they were trying to sell a product that was a scam. But I'm also willing to bet a good portion of those were people, or they were re-upload channels that were just trying to steal other people's content. But I'm willing to bet a good portion of those were people that just got screwed over by the YouTube AI. And more, I'm willing to bet when the next report comes out, it's going to be much higher because of this new seeming ban wave that's coming out. I feel like I've talked a lot longer about this than I intended to, especially considering I don't have any actual qualitative data about this. It's just a lot of anecdotal reporting, but this is something I'm going to try to track and follow a little bit. But with that, I'm going to end the video here. Oh my God, it's been 19 minutes. I'm going to end the video here. Please, if you reach this far, hype the video, like, subscribe. Every bit of engagement helps the video do a lot better. A big shout out to my tier 3 member, BoxWizard12. always forgetting to actually do that shout out. I feel really bad about it. If you would like to get a shout out when I remember to do it, please consider signing up for memberships. Every dollar from the memberships goes straight to my editor till it reaches such a point that I can afford to hire him on full time. I'm editing this video because my editor is currently very, very busy. So you can see the lower quality of this video. If you want the higher quality videos constantly forever, help me pay him more. Right now, he just gets a 50% ad split and whatever gets from the memberships. If you want to check out my other channels, like my Storytime channel, click on the little thing over there. I'm sure there is something I'm forgetting to say right now, but I'm tired.